Hey, it is Kenny from Kenny's Audiophile Record Reviews. Thank you very much for being my channel. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate that as well. That would really help out my channel. In this video, I'm going to do a comparison between 7 sources, 4 of them digital sources, and 3 of them album sources of the famous Getz Gilberto album. This album was issued in 1964. It's a very well-known album. Gets a lot of praise. Very famous album. Like I said, it was so great. It was one of very few albums, jazz albums, to win album of the year at the Grammys. It did that in 1965. This album helped propel the solo career of Getz Gilberto. Helped further cement the fame worldwide of Joao Gilberto, Antonio Carlos Jobim. Also would help give Stan Getz an additional boost. He was already famous at that time, but it really brought him to a different audience, his playing, Stan Getz. So it's an amazing album for sure. It really is. I must explain something, and I do this at the beginning of all my comparison videos, is that these comparisons, when you're comparing music, you're dealing with some variables that can affect the outcome of these comparison videos from person to person, because we all have different audio systems. Your audio system might be far superior to mine. So yours might bring out certain details and nuances that my system just can't do. So we have to keep that in mind. And also a system setup dependent too, in terms of how we hear the depth dimension of soundstage of these amazing recordings. And also it's personal opinion dependent, because we all have personal different opinions in terms of what music should sound like to us and what's pleasing to our ears. And also it's also ear dependent. We have different ear sets. We have to keep those in mind during these comparison videos, because we can get different results depending on who's doing the comparison and what sources they're using. Also, I must point out that there's 2 different mixes of this recording. There's one, and I'm using the song "The Girl from Ipanema" as a bass line, where Getz Gilberto solo during that song, "The Girl from Ipanema," on some recordings it's on the left channel, and other recordings it's on the right channel. And when I tell you which version of the CD and LP going to use in this comparison, I'll explain which one is in which channel. So we have to keep that in mind. And also a quick rundown on my equipment. I'm using the turntable I used during this test or comparison is a Riga P8 turntable with a Feta 3 cartridge. My phono stage is a West WHEST 0.20 phono stage. And my SACD CD player is a Sony XA9000ES SACD player. My high-res player is a Sony HAP Z1ES high-res player. And my D-to-A converter is a Luxman DA06 D-to-A converter. So I'm going to get to the sources I'm using. I'm going to start with this Verve SACD version of the album. And on this version, on the SACD version, Getz Gilberto solo on the song "The Girl from Ipanema" is on the right channel. This is an SHM-SACD version of the album. And her solo also on the SHM-SACD is on the left channel on the song "The Girl from Ipanema." This is a K2 HD version of the album issued by First Impressions Music, I believe. FIM, First Impressions Music. I think that's what that stands for. This is a K2 HD version of the record. And on this one, Getz Gilberto's solo on the song "The Girl from Ipanema" is on the right channel. In the original album, and I'm going to show you the pressing that I'm using. I'm using the one with the I don't know how we can see it in the glare. I'm using one with the MGM logo on the label in this comparison. I also have one without the MGM logo on the label, one a little bit later. I don't know if we can see the detail. But the sound of each album is approximately equivalent, so it's neither here nor there. So I use the MGM labeled version. And on that one, Gilberto's solo in the song The Girl from Ipanema is in the right channel. Now, I'm using two Analogue Productions Acoustic Sounds LPs in this comparison. I'm using the 33 RPM version. And Gilberto's solo on the song The Girl from Ipanema is on the left channel. And I'm also using the 45 RPM version, and her solo is on the left channel on this version as well. So I'm gonna get to the comparisons, and like I said, I'm listening to the certain nuances of the music, like the detail of Gilberto's guitar when I'm listening to these recordings, how much I can hear the detail of his playing, or the Stan Getz solo on the song O Grande Amor, or The Girl from Ipanema, how detailed it is in the soundstage and the echo and the decay of his instrument. I'm listening to that for that, and the realism of Gilberto's solos, whether it's on the right speaker or the left speaker. I'm listening to those details to discern some type of differences between these sources. In full disclosure, I enjoy the left channel mix. Gilberto's solo in the song The Girl from Ipanema to be in the left channel. I think that version, that mix, is more full as a soundstage to my ears, in my opinion. But I'm get to comparison. Like I said, there's 6 sources, and I'm 1 through 6, and I'm gonna start with 6. And what comes in 6 is a SHM-SACD version on my system, on my player, to my ears. This version simply is lacking to me in definition and detail compared to the ones above it. Also, the volume's lower. That doesn't bother me because it's turned the volume up, but it doesn't have the detail and the separation where I can hear the nuances of the playing compared to the other ones. So that comes in 6. A tie for 5th is the original LP and the K2 HD version of the album. I put them on equal footing. This pressing that I have is just not satisfactory. I don't know if it's a pressing I have, whether it was a pressing plant it was pressed at, because I normally get really great results out of original pressings. I really do, but this one, it just doesn't match up to the ones above it in terms of depth, dimensionality, soundstage, hearing the nuances and details of the instruments. I just don't get that out of this particular pressing. It doesn't mean that all the original pressings are like this. It means the one I have is like this. It's just not up to the standard of the ones above it. It's not a bad recording. It's just not as good as the ones above it. Now, if I had to choose one to listen to, the original LP or this K2 HD, like I said, they're tied for 5th, I would choose this K2 HD personally. Coming in 4th, oh, and I forgot this one. I also including in this comparison is a HD Tracks 192 kilohertz 24-bit file. That's included in this comparison too, and that's the one that comes in 4th. That's actually pretty good. It's really detailed. It's really a pleasure to listen to. You can hear Gilberto's voice really clear, at least on my high-res player. Stan Getz trumpet is very detailed. Jobim's piano and Gilberto's guitar, I really hear it really clear in the high-res version. I really like the high-res version. Just because it came in 4th doesn't mean it's bad, because it's actually pretty good. So that's 4th. And 3rd is the SACD, the Verve SACD. This is actually pretty good. I love this one as well for the same reasons why I like the high-res files. It's very detailed. Pleasure to listen to on my SACD player. So the SACD comes in third for the same reasons the high-res came in fourth. Matter of fact, they're so close that they can be like tie. It's that close. I can put them in the same bucket. Coming in third is Analogue Productions Acoustic Sounds 33 RPM version. This particular version is a step up, an audible step up from the digital versions and the LP version on my system to my ears. It's a noticeable step up to me. It's clean. It sounds good. It's like I said, I like the left channel mix of Getz Gilberto's voice in the song "The Girl from Ipanema." I prefer the left channel. It's very detailed. This gets high marks for a 33 RPM version in my mind. And coming in first is the 45 RPM versions by Analogue Productions Acoustic Sounds. This is very grand, very dimensional, very detailed. It has depth. You know, you can hear all the nuances and detail of every instrument, every voice. They're well placed. That comes in first on my comparison video. So in summary, the SHM-SACD is number 6. Tied for 5th is the original LP and the K2 HD CD. Doesn't mean they're bad, but they're not as good as the ones above it. In 4th is a HD Tracks 192 kilohertz 24-bit file. That's in 4th. That's an amazing version of it. I love listening to that. 3rd, and it's almost tied with the high-res file, is a Verve SACD. That's in 3rd. In 4th, I should say 2nd, is the Acoustic Sounds Analogue Productions 33 RPM version. And in 1st, the grand and beautiful 45 RPM Analogue Productions Acoustic Sounds version of the record. It's a fabulous record to listen to. If you have a very nice analog setup, I'd highly recommend the 45 RPM version or the 33 1/3 version. So that's my comparison. I know there's different versions of this album out there, so please leave your experiences and comparisons in the comment section below. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. That'll help my channel out. Thank you very much for viewing. God bless. Strong love and peace to all worldwide.